We mess ourselves up in entrepreneurship when we wait till we are good enough to actually start the business, start the video content, launch the thing, sell the product. As someone who has done really well in business in the past few years, I am here to tell you that you will never feel like you're good enough. Why? Well, let me tell you why. Are you ever gonna feel like, or are you ever gonna get over feeling like you're not good enough? That is something that I feel like people ask me all the time, or people bring it up all the time. So, for a little context, I just got done teaching a camera confidence class with Kalila of Mess in a Bottle. So, I'm rocking my Mess in a Bottle Outgrow Your Bullshit shirt that you can get at messinabottle.com. And so I am fired up because I had a really good class with her. She's such an amazing individual and was graceful enough. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but was awesome enough to invite me to teach her community. And it was amazing. Her community is absolutely amazing. And it is called the Tea Class. So if you want to learn how to make t-shirts, definitely follow the Tea Class on Instagram. But it got me thinking, oh my gosh, guys, one thing that we do is we we mess ourselves up in entrepreneurship when we wait till we are good enough. We wait till we're good enough to actually start the business, start the video content, launch the thing, sell the product, release the ebook. We wait till we are good enough. And as someone who has done really well in business in the past few years, I am here to tell you that that's a lie. You will never feel like you're good enough. Why? Well, let me tell you why. There's always another level to things. There's always something else, another milestone to make you feel like this milestone that you've gotten to may not be good enough, and so you need to chase the other one. This is not for everybody. You guys know when I do these entrepreneurial chats, this is me telling my truth, and I talk about things that I've probably processed and pushed through, or I'm probably processing and I'm pushing through it, or I'm probably speaking from a place of something I have not yet completely figured out. It's on my mind. So we got to talk about it, and then I have to hear how you guys feel in the comments, or what you are thinking. Have you been waiting until you're good enough at something in order to, like I said before, launch the business, sell the ebook, create the freebie, sell the online course, launch the podcast? I feel like there's a part of each and every one of us that is waiting until we're good enough to do something. Or here's another thing that we do. We think that getting something else will make us better or make things better. For example, let's be transparent here for a moment. So Rio and I are planning this amazing series where we share our process of getting things done in business, right? Because we're both business owners, and so there's so many things to get done. And a lot of times we say we'll do something, but we don't do it. And that comes back to kind of what I'm talking about today, right? It comes back to, am I good enough to do XYZ? Here's the thing. Part of me was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fire if you have a camera and if I have a camera, and we can go away and create. And then he's such an amazing editor. He's going to pull it all together and tell a story for you guys here on the YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed just yet, and this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, definitely do subscribe. However, that's the thought, like, oh my gosh, let's make this thing big. Let's do it. I get all the fireworks. So in essence, I'm thinking if we have two cameras and we're doing it separately, that's going to make it so good, all that jazz. But in reality, if we test this thing out with one camera and we share our camera, we can still get it done. We can still go through the process. We can still get this thing done. We can still get it off the ground. Having two cameras is going to make it better. It's going to improve it, yes. But what I'm not going to do is wait till we have two cameras to start doing it. So that's me talking to you. It's never going to be good enough, right? It's never gonna be, you're never gonna feel like things are good enough or like you're good enough to do XYZ. You have to start something and then continue building it. And whenever you start thinking like, am I good enough to launch a series like that? Because the way that we've envisioned it, it's so exciting. And it seems like something that's too big for me to do. Like when I say too big for me to do, like, have you ever visualized yourself, your future self, or something that you wish you could accomplish and it seems too scary because it seems like, oh my gosh, what if that thing blows up? What if it does really well? Like, oh my gosh, I'm scared about the life changes that will happen, or I'm scared about, I still go through things like that. Example, if I'm speaking on a stage somewhere, I'm still wondering, am I good enough to speak on XYZ stage? Or, hear me out, you're probably in a healed place in your journey where you are feeling like that. You are confident. You're the baddest bitch out there. You know, you're the creme de la creme. I have to will myself to feel like that. I don't always feel like that. And on the days that I don't feel like that, I still have to push through. Here's what I have to think about to push through. I have to pull myself back from whatever it is I'm seeing or feeling right now, and pull myself back. And my therapist taught me this. Look at yourself from, you know, as if it's a timeline that you're looking at, a timeline of your life, right? So I pull myself back and I look at the timeline, and looking at the timeline helps me realize how irrelevant my thoughts in this moment might be, right? And how I'll move through that hurdle. So when I'm feeling stuck in my thoughts, or I'm not good enough, or I don't know if I want to do that, I pull myself back to see how minute the fear or the thoughts that I'm having are right now in this moment. And that helps me to stay connected to the bigger vision. And it helps me to realize that this one moment, or whatever I'm thinking in this one moment, how I think about it can affect what happens with the big picture, right? So if I decide to say, I'm not good enough to speak on that stage, and I don't, you know, let's say someone asked me to speak on a stage and I say, I'm not good enough to speak on that stage. And I felt like that before, to be very honest. I'm not good enough to speak at your event. I don't feel like I am, because that's your first, or my first internal thought. I'm not good enough for this. Oh my gosh. So and so is speaking here. Am I good enough to speak here? When I think about my decision in that moment, because I'm thinking about the bigger vision, because I've pulled myself back and I've looked at the timeline and I see where I want to be and where I am right now, I realize that the right thing to do in order to get to where I want to be is to say, yes, I don't feel like I'm good enough in this moment, but let me pull out the inner baddie in me in order to show up as best as I can show up in this moment, which is usually killing it to everyone else. And let me just show up and show out. And that's how I get myself through the I'm not good enough. I think about my future and what I would like to accomplish. So from me to you in this moment, you're never going to feel like you're good enough until you're in a place where you feel like you're good enough. You're healed in that way, or you've processed, you know, everything in your life, and you feel like I am good enough to do XYZ, right? But in the moment that you're not feeling good enough, pull back and think about the bigger picture in your life and what you want to accomplish, and think about what your feelings should be, or your answer should be internally, and then do what you got to do. Let me know if this was helpful. I don't know. I hope it was helpful, but I constantly have to push through my thoughts of I'm not good enough. And this is how I push through those thoughts. I stay connected to my bigger vision and everything that I want for myself, because I'm very committed to accomplishing the things that I want for myself. All right, guys, let me know what you thought. I really want to get your feedback to this video. Leave something in the comments to let me know if this resonated with you in any way. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if it helped you in any way at all. All right, bye.